Hi, welcome to Diamond Delights. My name is Liz, if this is the first time you stop by. And for the rest of you guys, thank you so much and welcome back. I hope today finds you really well. I am just hunky-dory, peachy keen. And I'm super excited to bring to you this awesome ultimate chicken finger recipe. Oh, you are going to absolutely love these and will probably never want to go back to store-bought again. And they're very easy to do, a little time consuming, but very easy to make. So let me show you the ingredients you're going to need, the equipment you're going to also need, and I'm going to show you how to make these awesome ultimate chicken fingers. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining, and I hope you enjoy. Oh, and before I forget also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, it would be really awesome if you did. I truly appreciate that. Then, yeah, that's about it. So subscribe if you can. Otherwise, I'm going to get right into these ingredients, and let's get cooking. So the ingredients that we are going to need for our ultimate chicken fingers are, you're going to want 2 or 3 large chicken breasts. Depending on the size of your family, you might need 4 or 5. However, 2 is good for me. And it is skinless and boneless. You're going to want 2 eggs, some flour, some cornstarch. We're going to use some little bit of milk. And here is the special ingredient, is your favorite tortilla chip. So whether it's Doritos or whatever brand, and whatever flavor, you can use cheese or the hot or whatever your favorite flavor of tortilla corn chip is, that's what you can use. These are made in Manitoba, and this is one of my most favorite flavors. It's Fiesta flavor. And I don't know what it is exactly, but it tastes phenomenal. And these taste great on chicken fingers. Blah! That's a lot of blah blah. And you're going to want some corn flakes, some onion powder and some garlic powder, a little bit of salt, oil for deep frying, and that's it, I believe, for our ingredients. As you know me, I usually forget something, but I think that's the main of everything that we need. And the equipment we're going to need, hang on un momento, let me move this out of the way. All right, so the equipment that's going to be most helpful with this recipe is, well, a bowl, a plastic bag. You're going to want one of these ladles with the holes in it, or tongs, sharp knife, a whisk, a couple of baking trays, and a rack. And you're going to want something that goes so that you can grind up your corn chips and your corn flakes. So anything that is good to use. And our oil for deep frying. I like to do it in a pot. You can do it in a frying pan if you have a deep frying pan. Add enough oil to cover, to be able to cover up your chicken fingers. But I said I like to do it in a pot. Or if you have a deep fryer, even better. And yes, you can do these in an air fryer. All right, that's pretty much it for our equipment. And let's jump in and let's get these made, because I cannot wait to taste them. So my first step is going to be to grind up my corn chips and my corn flakes. So I'm going to put some chips into my milk thing. Ooh, chips everywhere. I'll have to do this in a couple of stages. It's actually a smoothie maker, but I broke my other machine. This is not, it's working okay, but it's not getting it quite as fine as I would like it to. Alright, I think that should be good. So you don't want to be overpowering it. So we're going to do the corn flakes with it. That way keeping the same kind of texture, but not overloading the chicken finger with like way too much flavor from the chips. Now my corn flakes. I could have also used a plastic bag and a rolling pin. Maybe that's how I'll do up some more corn chips. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it the other way. This isn't doing quite what I want it to do. So you can put said flakes into your bag. Yeah, that works well. Works much better than my work machine. I just want to make sure I have enough coating made. I hate having to stop part way and do more. Oh. Oops. Well, hopefully that'll be enough. So I just do this through my hands here, bake up any large pieces. All right, good enough. This would have been so much easier if I had a food processor. Now I've already washed my chicken and patted it dry, and so I'm just ready to slice her up. Now whenever you're slicing up chicken breast or basically any meat, you always want to cut against the grain. So when you take a look at your meat, you can see that there's lines all the way through it, and they're running this way. So you want to cut this way. This will keep your meat tender. If you cut with the grain, you're cutting, let's say, with the grain so it doesn't break the tendons and things like that. So when you cut against the grain, it's cutting through all that material and gives you a more tender piece of meat. So when we cut them up, you want to use a really sharp knife. That's really helpful. And we're going to cut slices about this large. All right, so I've got all my chicken cut up here. Now we're going to put our egg mixture together. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is crack my eggs. I'm going to need 2. Splash of milk. And some salt, a little pinch of salt. Now don't want to use too much salt because obviously our chips are pretty salty, so you don't need a lot of additional salt added into the recipe. So I'm just doing a pinch of salt, but you always kind of need a pinch of salt to bring out all the flavors. It's an odd thing. All right, that's it. I'm going to whisk this up. Oh, sorry. I like to add in I like to add in a little bit of a pinch of onion powder. Not too much, because as I said, we've got the flavor of the chips, so we don't want to take away from it. We don't want to alter it. And a little pinch of garlic. Now, that's optional. You don't have to add that. Just going to whisk that up. And into my little plastic bag here. I'm going to add some flour. So probably about a cup of flour or so, just to dredge our chicken in. And to the flour, again, I'm going to add a pinch of onion and garlic and salt. I like having seasoning on every layer that goes onto your chicken. Get that mixed up. Oh, and one thing I almost forgot is our cornstarch. And we're going to add about just about a tablespoon of cornstarch to our flour. Yep. Get that all mixed in well. And turn down bag and take our chicken. Ooh, I hate touching raw chicken. Ah, so gross. And take on the little chicken strips here and shake them up. And now into our egg mixture. So after you transfer your chicken from your flour to the egg mixture, and it's all well coated, you're going to lay it down in our coating mix of chips and corn flakes here. Take a few out at a time. And then I'll just scoot the crumbs over top. Try to touch the chicken as little as possible. I don't mind it with the coating on it, but I don't like touching chicken directly. Ugh. So with your coating, you want to make sure to pat it down kind of nice and firmly. You kind of squish out your chicken finger, make it a little bit flatter. But that way your coating adheres right to your chicken and it's not going to come off. Like, you know, when you've ever had them, you take a bite and the coating all comes off? Yeah, this won't happen doing it like this. So you want to pat it in, make sure it's well attached. Flip her over, do the other side. And we just keep doing that until we get them all dressed. All dressed and ready for the hot tub. So I'm just going to finish getting these coated up and then we'll be back to fry them up and then be able to do the best part, taste them. Well, you can't taste them right now, but I hope you guys make these for dinner in the next couple of days. Let me know how they turned out. So I had this idea the other day. I was making stovetop stuffing as a side dish for something, I don't know. And I thought, this would probably taste good to use it as a coating for chicken fingers. So I have a little bit left over from my dinner. I have some left over that I didn't use. So I'm going to grind that up. I'm going to try a couple of chicken fingers and see how they come out. Because I figure it's breadcrumbs and it already has the poultry type seasoning. So it's kind of chicken finger ready to go. So I'm going to try a couple up and see how they taste. As well as being a different texture because they're a breadcrumb mixture versus a corn base. Does anyone else hate the feel of raw chicken? Or is it just me? It just feels so gross. Ew, egg snot. Ugh, that's worse than slimy chicken. Egg snot. Ugh. So these three here I'm going to do with the stovetop. Smells pretty good, I gotta say. I think I might have stumbled onto something. Ta-da! There, we've got them all done here. You can go. Alright, ta-da! So we got them all coated. I'm just going to clean up this mess here and get my oil heated up. So I put my oil on high heat for the moment. I want to heat it up to 350 degrees to 375 degrees. That is optimal for deep frying. If it's lower than 350, that's when you get deep fried soggy stuff, because the oil is not quite hot enough to seal off the coating right away, and that coating then absorbs a bunch of oil. So heating up to 350, 375 before you start frying is optimal. So I'm just going to check the temperature with a food thermometer. This is a digital one. Any one will do. You can use candy thermometer as well, as long as the temperature goes above 400. Otherwise, you could break it. So we got a little ways to go. I'm only at 137. I'll see you back here at 350. Come on, you can do it. 350. So I'm going to turn my heat down a few degrees because I don't want it to get too hot. And here we go. So that's how you want it to go, is that it all bubbles right away. And you don't want to overload your pan. So I'm not going to do any more than 4 because I have a pretty small pot here. So we're going to let these fry up for about 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how thick they are. Get them to a nice golden brown. And I'm going to keep checking my temperature to make sure that it doesn't get over 375. I want to try and keep it around there. That's where deep fryers are so much nicer, because you can hold that constant temperature of what you need. That went down a little too much. And then trying to find that sweet spot to keep your oil at the right temperature on a regular burner. Yeah, it's a little... Definitely want to get an air fryer. So we just need to fry them up, depending on, because mine were pretty thin, just until they're nice and golden brown, and that should be done. So it's about probably anywhere between 2 to 5 minutes. Again, depending on how hot your oil is and how thick your chicken tenders are. I'm going to take a look at this one. And yep, perfectly done. You can see that there, nice and white, no pink. You don't want to be killing anybody. Oh! Be careful, oil is very hot. So put them onto your tray here with the rack. Let some drain for a bit. Off the excess oil. Whoops! That's me just throwing everything everywhere. And pop in 4 or 5 more. Oh, look how good these look. Oh. Big boy. So you want to try and keep the pieces that you're putting in together kind of equal size. So if you're putting in big slices, put all of them big. That way that they'll cook evenly and not have, if you put in some big ones with some small ones, those small ones will be done and the big ones won't be, or your little ones will be overdone. And nobody likes dry chicken. So I'm just going to finish frying these up here, and I will be back to give them a try. So one thing when you're cooking, if you're cooking at the correct temperatures, the color of your food will indicate if it's done. So if it's really light brown, chances are the inside is not going to be done. But when it gets that nice golden brown, if you say cooking it at the right temperature so that your coating is not getting heated up quicker, then your inside will always be done. So for example, if I did these at really high, like 425 degrees, the coating would get dark really quickly, making you think that it was done, and actually your meat inside is still going to be raw, and your outside will get burnt or get very dark. But cooked at the correct temperature, comes that nice perfect golden brown, perfect in the center. And that's kind of a standard with like pretty much most of your meats that you cook. Turkey, roast chickens, stuff like that. So I'm going to finish frying these up, and then I will come back and give them a try and let you know how they are, especially the stovetop ones. I'm really curious about that. All right, so they are all done here and yummy, yummy. So give one a try first, and if need be, if you need to add some extra salt, then just give it a light sprinkling of salt. But I said try it first, and then only if it needs it. That little sprinkle. There you go. Oh, let's give one a try. So these are the stuffing ones. So you can see they look quite a bit different than the other ones. So this is just breadcrumbs. All right, first let's try the chip ones. That one's too hot. That one's too hot. Oh. So good. You gotta listen to the crunch. Pretty nifty, huh? It's rude to talk with your mouth full. Oh. Now let me try the stuffing one. I'll give it a second. So I hope you guys I hope you guys give this a try and let me know how they turned out. I'd love to hear from you. And let me know what chips that you used with it, what flavor you used. And that's really good. Not as good as the chip ones, not as crunchy, but a very nice flavor, yeah. Because you've got the poultry seasonings in there and the breadcrumbs. It's kind of ready to go. So if you want to make it nice and easy, that's always an option for you. Otherwise, I definitely put the time in and do with the corn flakes and the corn chips. So much better. So thank you so much for joining me for the ultimate chicken fingers. Again, I said I hope you give those a try and let me know down in the comments how it turned out. So thanks again, and you have an awesome rest of your day.